Subject for today's discussion is green jobs, careers in environment and sustainability. We are joined with Professor Pandit K. MAHARAJ, Dean, Jindal School of Environment and Sustainability, Professor ABHIROOP Choudhury, and Professor KUMAR MANISH. You're all requested to visit the website of Jindal School of Environment and Sustainability for their detailed profiles. Jindal Global School is ranked as #1 private university as per Global QS World Ranking. Jindal Global University is also recognized as an institute of eminence by the Ministry of Education, Government of India. The university has over 11,000 students on roll with a faculty students ratio 1:9. The faculty members of the university come from 37 countries around the world, with a large majority having degrees from topmost universities such as Harvard, Oxford, Cambridge, Columbia, Stanford, Yale, to name few. I would start with a request to just give us answer that what courses that Jindal School of Environment and Industry have.
Well, just to give a brief background, the basic philosophy behind starting the courses on degree courses on environment and sustainable development is that over a number of years, the world has seen great economic growth and development, but there were environmental consequences. Now, also decades have passed that people have been talking only about, as they call them in common parlance, they call them rabble rousers, that they're only raising issues, nobody's offering solutions. So, one of the ideas of having these programs at Jindal School of Environment and Sustainability is not only to make both students and industry aware of the environmental problems that the world is facing, but also to offer solutions. So the programs at JSES, as we call it in abbreviated form, is that we provide both, we raise issues, but also we provide solutions. Now, these solutions are, they could be technology solutions, they could be policy planning interventions, they could be administrative interventions, a whole gamut of solutions that we train our students in offering. And as my colleagues will later on talk in detail, so the programs at JSES, there are two streams of these programs. One is called BA Honors Environmental Studies, which admits largely students who do not have STEM subjects, while as there is BSc Honors Environment and Sustainable Development, which admits students who have had 1 or 2 or 3 subjects of STEM. So that's the brief kind of a background. And in the first semester and second semester, that is first year, we expose students to foundational courses where everybody gets to read some foundational courses. They are introduced to these foundational modules, as we call them, and prepare a kind of a common ground. And then in second year onwards, or third semester and onward, then we bifurcate them into the BA stream, honors stream, and BSc honors stream. So that in brief is what we do at JSES.
Thank you so much, Professor Maharaj. Now I would request Professor Kumar Manish to update us with what kind of programs and courses does Jindal School of Environment and Sustainability offer.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. So as Professor Pandit has already said, we are offering 3 courses right now in Jindal School of Environment and Sustainability. We have Bachelor of Arts in Environment and Sustainable Development. We have Bachelor of Sciences in Environment and Sustainable Development. And starting from this year onwards, we have also started to offer a PhD program in Environment in Jindal School of Environment and Sustainability. So currently we are offering 3 kinds of program, 2 undergraduate program and 1 PhD program at Jindal School of Environment and Sustainability. And as the Dean has already mentioned before, the foundational modules are the same for both BA and BSc honors courses. From second year onwards, the BA students move to the policy part and the BSc students move towards the practical part. So the BSc students have practical exercises and the BA students have community engagement exercises, policy making exercises. So we train them in a different manner, both the BA and BSc honors students. And also in line with the NEP policy of Government of India, starting from this year onwards, the BA honors and BSc honors environment and sustainable development program would be a 4-year undergraduate program.
Okay, thank you so much, Professor Manish. I would request any of the professors to just let us know that what is the basic difference between BA honors environment and sustainability and BSc honors environment and sustainability.
Manish, why don't you take it? I think you already said something about it. So
Yeah. Thank you, sir. So the basic difference, ma'am, between the BA honors course and BSc honors course in environment and sustainable development is that the science students are taught more modules on technology, technological interventions. They have the environmental chemistry practicals, they have the biology practicals, they have the physics practical, starting from the second year onwards. While the art student, they are more oriented towards the economic side, the policy side, and the social side. So this is the primary difference between a BA course, a BA honors course, and BSc honors course. The idea behind launching these 2 courses was like anyone who practices sustainability needs to have a training which includes 5 major aspects, that is technological, economic, social, and governance issue along with the political issue. So they should have a sound understanding of these 5 issues. So we have tried to build up our courses around these 5 disciplines. Right. So the science students are more oriented towards the technological part and the art students are more oriented towards the social and governance part.
Can I add, while that is true that as Manish suggested that the students who graduate in who graduate with a degree in BSc honors, they are more possibly their courses are more skewed towards, hands-on training, technological interventions, and solution which involves science, technology, and domains. However, as we have again, I want to re-emphasize that whether it is a student who ultimately goes to BSc honors or a student who comes to or who stays at BA honors, both streams are exposed to common foundational modules where, for example, somebody who has a social sciences or humanities background learns basic quantitative reasoning techniques. He learns data analysis. He learns methodology, which enables him or her to undertake any kind of analysis which may help him or her ultimately when he writes policy documents and things like that. So while there is streaming that happens second year onwards, but similarly, BSc honors students who ultimately will end up with a BSc honors degree, they are exposed to environmental ethics, they are exposed to resource economics, they are exposed to courses on sociology of environment and things like that. So we have these kind of cross-disciplinary, interdisciplinary thinking, which we expose our students to. irrespective of the fact whether they end up with the BSc honors degree or a BA honors degree. Their foundational modules are cross-disciplinary and interdisciplinary. But however, from the second year onwards, they do, stream into BA honors or BSc honors, as has been already suggested. So that the idea is to produce trained individuals who can understand the cross currents of these subjects, who can, because you cannot possibly have an expert or somebody who is advising, who only knows how to provide technological solutions, but is not exposed to some kind of thinking to, as Manish suggested, community engagement. Because all the policy or technology, can remain in air if there is no community engagement. Ultimately, all the policy or all the technology has the test of pudding will lie in eating, whether that technology, whether that policy would be ultimately, converted to some kind of, impact on ground. So that's why. So the training, what we provide to students at JSES involves all facets, so that the students or graduates who we produce are fully conversant of sociological issues, resource constraint issues, resource economic issues, social issues, ethical issues. At the same time, they also know what are the technology fixes. I thought that I might add that to that.
Thank you, Professor Manish, and our dean, respected dean. You have well explained everything in detail. I'm sure this will help the young minds to understand the difference in depth. Thank you once again. I move on to my next question, and I request any one of you, professors, to just let us know what are the type of jobs or the employment opportunities for the students from Jindal School of Environment and Sustainability who study environment and sustainable in the market, the job opportunities, sir. Anyone, please.
Let me begin with, then I will hand it over to Professor ABHIROOP. If you simply do a Google search, environment and sustainability or environment and sustainable development jobs. And while I was coming to this session, I did that in the morning, and I put a filter of last 1 week or 15 days, jobs that have come up in last week to 15 days. Now, I was pleasantly surprised, though I have had some kind of handle on it, but I was pleasantly surprised that at least 62 types of jobs sprung up. That, that what kind of jobs, and they range from consultants to sustainability managers, program associates, research interns, senior manager sustainability, environment sustainability, data analyst, environmental communication, sustainability consultant, senior consultant, senior program associate, executive officer, sustainability specialist, director, sustainable standards and methodology, sustainability lead, sustainability manager, so on and so forth. There are 62 types. In fact, I thought that there could be, because in our brochure, we have indicated 5 or 10 kinds of, but I was surprised that the industry offers at least, this is just, I did in last week or 15 days, 2 weeks, what kind of jobs and what are their titles. So I just made an Excel sheet, and I was kind of, in fact, if you may sort of allow me to.
Meanwhile, I would request Professor ABHIROOP to go on till sir shares his sheet. Sir, kindly,
yes, ABHIROOP, if you wish to
continue with something. Yes, sir.
So, thank you. And Dean sir has already aptly pointed out that if you really search in Google, there are so many environmental sustainability jobs that are already available. So I will just focus on that the jobs are not only limited. This is because this is one of the questions we generally get, that environmental jobs are more in some other countries, not in India. Maybe somebody has to go abroad in order to get access to this job. So there I want to put a very simple data. The data says that India has actually generated something around 8,63,000 green jobs within the time period of 2020 to 2021. And this data I am quoting from International Renewable Energy and International Labour Organization data. So this number itself suggests that there are a lot of jobs that are available, not only in international, but also in both international and in national spheres. So before we continue on that, please let's go through the Excel sheet, which looks really interesting.
Yes, look at these. So the kind of can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so you can see the kind of jobs these the types of jobs that are there.
Oh my God.
Employment opportunities, and this is not one. At some places they may require 5 of them, some places 2, some places 3, but just about last week, or and this is the kind of designations that are available today in environmental and sustainability. As I said, 62. So 62 types of jobs in the corporate world, which are available there.
Professor Abhiroop, would you like to add to this anything else?
So if this Excel sheet is itself self-explanatory, it almost have all the different job profiles, and this is not, as sir aptly pointed out, this is not the end list. It is only 62 that we can find only within few days of search of jobs that comes up. And if we go into detail, generally environment jobs as of now are in 4 or 5 domains. So one of the domain, as Professor Manish also pointed out, that we have 2 courses, right? One course we focus on BA in environment and system development, whereas in the another course we have a BSc stream. So first of all, as Dean sir mentioned, all of these courses are interdisciplinary. So this is now the barriers is very fluid, unlike that what used to be long time back, maybe 10 to 20 years back the time, when all these domains are tightly packed. That is not exactly what the environment and sustainability domain is looking for right now. So our BA in environment and sustainability graduate who may be working in policy and having a good experience in community should also have some kind of understanding about the science and the technology part of it, because these are interdisciplinary domains. And one of the basic aims and mission and vision of our school, JSES, stands there to make this knowledge as a whole, not to present it in silos, which is mostly done in many universities, mostly in India and many other parts. But in our school, what is the uniqueness of our school is that any student will have the basic understanding over any of these particular skill sets. Now there are different domains. One, I remember, I will quote a particular line that is used by the EHS manager of Sherwin Williams, who manages the entire Europe and American production houses. He said that in India, if you're getting a salary less than 15 lakhs a year as a starting environment as health and safety manager in a particular company, it is really not expected. And in Europe, this can go as high as something around 47,000 euros annually to 1,16,000 euros annually. So this is only the limit. So that is what I want to point out. And the Excel sheet itself is explanatory. How many jobs opportunities are there? That's it.
Thank you so much, Professor Maharaj and Professor Abhiroop. Now that we have just discussed about jobs, I would also now like to know from students' perspective, which are the industry generally hiring these young environment and sustainable graduates?
Okay, let me take that. Now, again, I'm sharing the screen. Look at this. The kind of these job, I told you the kind of jobs, the designations that were, they were not just taken off the cuff or offhand. Now, exactly, I then analyzed that who were the industries that were, what types of industries were, sort of offering or advertising these jobs. And then I looked, I was again pleasantly surprised that energy, pharma, automobile industry, fashion and design industry, infrastructure and construction industry, banking and financial institutions, consultancies, okay? And these could be financial consultancies, these could be HR consultancies, all kinds of consultancies, water and energy policy, think tanks, all. So these are kind of generic industries that are offering these jobs to young graduate students. And now, if you look at specifically which one which one of them were these, so it is almost who's who of industry. Ernst & Young, KPMG, Ernst & Global, Evans Denham, H&M, which is a fashion industry, actually, fashion and design.
Yeah.
Novartis, which is a big pharma company, L&T, such a huge, infrastructure company, Perkin-Elmer, in a scientific instruments company. Similarly, Garrett, ExxonMobil, such kind of a petroleum products industry. JLL, Hitachi Energy, Schneider Electricals, ERM, World Resources Institute, and Indicus Foundation, Council on Energy, Water, you name it. In fact, all the industry leaders leading industrial houses and multinationals are today advertising for that. And there has been, I will leave that part to Manish to tell us in terms of quantitative figures, what kind of growth has happened in this environment and sustainability job sector. What have we witnessed in the last year or so? What kind of growth has happened? But just to say that across the industries and across the a swath of industry with different profiles, in fact, where you have never expected that an environmental and sustainable development expert would be required or a sustainability expert would be required, there is a position which is made, which is offered by that industry today. So I will stop here. Manish, would you like to add?
Yeah. So just to add to what the Dean said, that conventionally we thought anyone who specializes in environment will become an NGO worker. But now this trend is rapidly changing nowadays. 20 to 30% of the jobs which were generated last year in India in the financial year 21-22, 20 to 30% of those jobs have been from the environment sector. And this is a report which was published in Economic Times. You will be surprised to know that while we were holding the campus placements for third-year students, who are the first batch of students who are graduating this year, the company came, Environment and Social Foundation of India, the company came to a campus and they asked for 7 students to be, we have to give them 7 students who are well-trained in environment field. So out of 7 students, 4 of them sat for the interviews. The rest of the batch is more interested towards the entrepreneurship thing. They want to establish industries of waste management. They want to go into the sustainable fashion industry. So that is another aspect, that this sector in the coming years, 20 to 30% of the jobs of the new industries which will come up will be related to environment and sustainable development. So out of those 4 students, all of them bagged the campus placements offer. So actually the data which is available with us, it's showing that we are actually not able to supply the number of, we are not able to supply the number of trained professionals who are required for managing the various environmental management programs in different industries. So by 2030, almost 50 to 60% of jobs would be converted into, environmental jobs. Even if you see the report, the internal audit report of Tata Consultancy Services, TCS, it says that they are actually hiring agencies from Europe and America to train their existing professionals in the field of environmental management, because we do not have enough graduates or postgraduates who are trained in the field of environmental sustainability. So nowadays. So therefore, as Professor ABHIROOP already pointed out before, we have to break this disciplinary silos, which thankfully we have done at OP Jindal University, and we are trying to orient this, give a new picture of environment and sustainable development in front of the students and the society at large.
So thank you so much. You really have given a deep insight of all the industries that are hiring them.
Professor ABHIROOP would
This will
like
give
to
a,
add on to that.
This will be a delight for all the young environmentists to know that there is a wide scope of this thing. I'm driving in the same line. I would also, we have that impression generally, there's an impression that there are serious lack of trained professions in environment and sustainability area. How do you respond to that, Professor ABHIROOP?
Yes, thank you for asking this question. This is a very important question that I hear a lot. Just as we all are faculties, and one of the key note that we faculties have, we learn every day. Our learning is in class. So I will just give two examples here, that what is the need and what is the mammoth scope of environmental job and environmental market that is available. I'll share a small screen to show a small data. 1 minute. I am not able to share the screen, I think.
No problem. If not possible, then you can just read few of the details.
Okay. So I will just
I think you can try. Just find out. Can you send it to me? I will share it.
Okay, sir. I'll just quote it as of now. So according to the MUD Assessment Management 2018, it is based on Global Sustainable Investment Alliance data, or 2016 published in 2017. At present, there is something around some huge $23 trillion investment just in the sector of ESG. So this is only one sector environmental professional can apply to. So this sector has grown exponentially over the year, and only one job domain or two job domain that is limited to them would be the environmental consultant in the term of ESG sector. Now, if I put the entire green job data into the picture, I will like to tell everyone to go and search simply in UN and search a term called green jobs. So you will see at present, it is just open in my screen. It is something around 63 jobs that are currently online in Geneva Environment Network, and also something around 50 jobs which are already available in the UNEP website, which says that the job market is very varied. Now, where is the paucity? Where is the paucity of the job? That is the crux of this entire question. The paucity is every job demands some skill sets. As our Dean Sir point and Professor Manish pointed out, that if somebody is applying for a job where they do not belong or they do not have the skill set, industry do not have the time to train them. So it is expected, as Professor Manish was highlighting on some of the career prospects that our newly graduating students are going to have as per the placement records, said they have certain skill set which can be easily taken up by the industry. Now, as the industry is not able to find the skill set, they are not able to find someone who can direct policy level decisions on sustainability management plans, or help them with 14,001/2015 audit, or help them with the ESG and EHS guidelines. They are hiring candidates who are not from the environment field, like for example, mechanical engineers, civil engineers. So that is where we need to focus on, and that is exactly where JSES and under the leadership of our dean sir, who is very accomplished scientist, we are striving to work towards, because we want to create a skill set to the student where they are able to get the employment very easily. And the competition will be reduced to far lesser extent. So it is not the true that an industry want a mechanical engineer to work in a ESG firm. They want a ESG expert. The problem is there is none. So they have to go for a mechanical engineer. So if we can give students who have the skill set of all the policy level guidelines to know how to frame the GRI reporting standards, they know how to draft their policies, or if it is a BHC student, they know how to monitor and assess the problem and come out with a solution. Now the buzzword in environment is do not stress on the problem, because problem everybody know. Give the solutions. For solutions, we need to have skill sets. And this is the skill set that is going to be done through practical hands-on experiences, internships. And one thing I want to add up, in JSES and in one of the most important teaching aspect and pedagogy is that students are free to take elective courses that is offered by other schools of JGU. So if a student in the second year wants or have interest to go into green business, that $23 trillion industry I'm talking about, they can take economics and finance courses from the business school, and vice versa. So this is not only one of the guidelines of the NEP, which has been now been implemented in our university, but also this is a practice that has been happening for a long time till I joined this institute. So students are always encouraged to expand the skill set to make them more professionally suited for this job profile that are already present.
Oh, wonderfully said. Well, very well said, and I'm sure this
Also,
will be really helping the students.
I think we have time on our hands. I just want to share this presentation with you all, which will actually substantiate. Oh, my host disabled participant screen sharing. Okay, so I've been disabled sharing the screen. So, ma'am, you can continue.
Okay, like I said that it's very well said, all the answers, and thank you so much everyone, three of you. Now I'll go little ahead with this in the broader sense.
Ma'am,
when we understand.
Can I stop you here for a while?
Yeah.
In continuation of what Professor ABHIROOP was suggesting regarding the one, of course, is the lack or thereof of trained manpower. There is no doubt this impression has not been created just like that. In any case, industry always does complain that universities produce almost non-employable graduates. That may not be entirely true, but to an extent there is some kind of truth to that. So, but things are changing, as ABHIROOP mentioned, things are changing fast, because one thing which we did at the time of preparation of that, we did open it to the industry, and we did have some kind of discussions, and that what kind of, for example, we had to change certain courses based on what was the feedback from industry. That, like they emphasized more hands-on training. So our students often are taken to different kinds of industries, and as a result of it, as Manish suggested, a number of our students are not interested now to do jobs. When they visited the industry, they said, we want to open this kind of industry. We want to head this kind of industry, because some of them may have necessary wherewithal where they want. So it is not only creating employees, but we are also creating employees, honestly. So that's the kind of training. The second is that going beyond what we do as I said, in the classrooms, training them on field and telling them, exposing them to real time, what is happening on ground. At the same time, a number of our students, because there is, part of that cake is that a number of students want to go for higher studies. And I think that our university, OP Jindal Global University, is remarkably, positioned itself in terms of, vast number of, collaborations with some top schools in the world. Law school, of course, has, collaborations with almost the best schools, including Harvard and other schools. At JSES, at Jindal School of Environment and Sustainability, we have forged some good collaborations with some top schools and who can provide opportunities to our students to pursue very highly specialized courses, master's courses, whether it is at University of New Brunswick or University of Melbourne or Queen's University or Southampton University. We had a visit from Oxford University. So that is another, great avenue for our students. If some of them do not want to immediately after graduation, they don't want to have jobs, they can pursue higher studies, possibly, and also that some universities offer us 1-year master's program. In 1 year, they get a master's degree. They spend 3 years here, 1 year they spend there, and finish a master's degree at University of New Brunswick or University of Melbourne, all of the places. And very innovative courses, for 1 year. Some in arborescence, in treescapes, and all kinds of things which are related to green jobs. So that I thought would be in addition to what we said. So we are not only talking in terms of providing employment opportunities to students or making them employable by the industry. At the same time, we are also training students who can possibly take up higher studies and then contribute a higher level, and then maybe enter industry at a senior level, or create research and something which possibly leads us to other question that the broader sense. Yes, Indu, back to you.
Thank you so much, professors. It's wonderful driving every child to this information.
Ma'am, one thing more,
yes.
just to add to what the dean said. One of our students actually, sir, has secured admission to Queen's Mary University. So he has been given preference in scholarship, and also he has been given preference in the application form. So this is the advantage of having MOUs like exchange programs and MOUs which OP Jindal has. So it actually facilitates the graduating students into in finding suitable avenues for international studies. Because if you are not exposed to such kind of institutions, you will never come to know about which institutions are good, which institutions are bad. So this is what the OP Jindal University has, this unique thing, and we have these collaborations with the different universities in the form of MOUs.
Thank you so much. I'm just taking it little forward to higher studies. I'm driving this question to little higher studies, where we also know that in case the student secures very good marks in the total aggregate, I heard that he's not supposed to be doing, he's free to move on straight with a PhD. Can you enlighten on this topic, sir?
Manish.
Yes. Okay, sir, please.
Yeah, or ABHIROOP, whoever, both of you can.
Okay, that is a very interesting question. First of all, now the process is changing, because now we will be looking into NEP 4 years. So now as the 4 years program is starting up, after 4 years, there is a provision of 1 or 2 years of masters, after which the student, even if the student get a very good marks in the 4 years graduation, there is also a provision that the student can be directly applicable to some of the PhD level courses. So now we have to understand what are the use of these courses. So generally, PhD course is something where we create a new knowledge out. And environment, as I mentioned, and as our Dean Pandit sir and Professor Manish mentioned very aptly, that this field is a developing field, and there is, after COP26 and India's pledge to neutrality, it is very much evident that where the direction of environmental jobs are going. It is going towards environment and sustainability graduates and postgraduates who are going to come up in the coming 5 to 10 years. So with that in mind, I will answer this question. So if some student want to pursue and create new solutions to the already existing problems, they can definitely go to the path of masters. And on that, marks never been one of the determining factor for getting a PhD, securing a PhD positions or a PhD position with fellowship in premier institutes. As Professor Manish has mentioned, we have MOUs with many of the universities. So it is also possible for a student to do a part of their study in that university while they're doing their undergraduate degree only. So this is called the credit transfer system. So a student can go for a semester exchange in a particular university, maybe University of New Brunswick, get a one entire semester there. They can think of continuing their graduate program and transitioning from graduate program to directly to the postgraduate program. And we have to remember one thing very clearly here. In these cases, the student also gets a visa opportunity to work in that particular country for about 2 to 3 years. So not only they have a getting a degree in foreign university in collaboration with OP Jindal Global University, but they can also use that in the job market in that particular country. In case of New Brunswick, it will be Canada. And they will be working there, and then they can decide whether they want to come back to India, take a higher study, do a PhD, or they want to stick into that job or create their own own industries. Like Pandit sir very aptly mentioned, they can be an employer also, because many of our students already have their startups. I can mention one of our students already has a waste management startup that is working really well, and that student is going to graduate this year. That means the startup has been started only in the 2nd year. So it is not impossible to do. It is only the right guidance that the student needs. It is the students, we always used to mention, it is like a clay, how we guide them. So in JSES, they will get one-to-one guidance from the faculties. They can come to any faculties and we guide them. So whatever their interest is, now the field is like that. Anybody who is interested in a particular field, we as a professor should encourage that. And that exactly what is done here. So a student can choose to be employed, be an employer, or go for a post-graduation degree, either in India or abroad. All the facilities are there. And the third and the last point, here 5 internships are mandatory. So here we encourage students to actually go into the industry and work at almost in all the vacation breaks. So that itself added up to the SOP, the statement of purpose, when they're going to apply in good Ivy League universities like Yale or Princeton or Stanford. They can directly write they have worked in 5 industries on a particular stream, and that increases the chances of their admission in those universities. Because I can say from my own personal experiences, grades are not the only determining factor when one have to secure a position in a very good university and college. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor ABHIROOP. I would still want little clarity on this PhD program. Yes, sir.
Pandit sir want to add up.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, as per the NEP of Government of India, any student who has a CGPA of 7.5 in it.
I think there is. I think he has a connection problem.
Yeah, we have lost his voice.
Yes, yeah, we have lost. Yeah. As an aside, till Manish joins back, I think he's back. Are you back, Manish? No. Yeah.
I'm still.
ABHIROOP has an institutional issue because he's an IIT alumnus, IIT graduate, so he would be favorably disposed towards technological interventions, which is a good. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, Manish. You wanted to say something.
Yeah. So any student who has a CGPA of 7.5 in the first 3 years, they are eligible to take a research program within their undergrad study. So the 4th year would be focused around research. So any student who has completed a research with honors degree will not have to do a MSc program or MA program. He or she will be directly admitted to the PhD program as per the NEP guidelines. So we are fully following NEP guidelines, and this is
Network is an issue.
I think we have lost him again.
Can I add to this?
Yeah, so please go ahead, sir.
Can I add to this? Yeah, Manish, I think what you can do is you can switch off your video, then only on audio, because that connection is not stable. I just as an addition to what ABHIROOP said or what Manish was saying, is that under the institution of eminence which JGU has, we have a special provision that we can offer 1-year master's degrees. So from next year onwards, we will be opening 1 year's master's programs in, of course, there are certain, caveats to that, which will come later. Master's in climate change and sustainability, master's in energy, climate and sustainability. So these are the kind of additional 1-year programs which will unfold very soon. Maybe next year onwards. We are in the process of formulating and designing these courses, and preferably we would roll them out in collaboration with some of the best universities of the world. So Manish, if you are ready, you can then take it forward. Manish, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Just like that thing, the students who are not able to do research with honors degree, the conventional 1-year program is open for them. But as per the NEP guidelines, anyone who has a CGPA of 7.5 and an honors degree with research, they are eligible for PhD program. They will not have to do a master's program.
That's clarity on that, but I need little more clarity. Is it confined to only our university, or they can go to any part of the world and do
this
that?
is no, like this is for India, ma'am. This is the Government of India guidelines. The other universities have their own requirements. So it depends upon which kind of university you are applying, right? You need to do a bridge course.
Just a clarification. If we are talking about 1-year program or special provisions, they are only being given to institutions of eminence, not everybody. Okay. So what Manish is saying a generic principle under the national education policy. That's a separate thing. What I was saying is special, vehicle, special provision, which has been made only for universities which are recognized as institution of eminence by Government of India. So these are two different things. They are not same.
So that we get the clarity on. Now let me move on to the next question for Maharaj Pandit, Professor Pandit. In the broader sense, how do we think that these type of trainings will help achieve the goal of sustainable development?
Okay, good. Now, I'll just give you a context to this. Years back, I think it was 1999, if I'm not mistaken, March of 1999, I was traveling in the United States. I met a very interesting gentleman who was connected with Hollywood and kind of things, and he started a private TV channel first, one of the first satellite, those channels. And I don't know, after talking, that time internet was just making forays into India, and emails and hotmails had started, And then while he sort of took us out, there was a colleague of mine who was with me. So he took us out for a breakfast. We got talking, and, and then this was a place which is called a library, actually bookstores, huge bookstore. They call them library, whatever. So he took me there and he presented me a book. I said, Bob, what is it? He said, well, this is a transformational book. That book was published in 1995. called Being Digital. And this book was written by a very famous book by Nicholas Negroponte. Nicholas Negroponte is a great name. In fact, those who are listening or those who will listen later, they can Google his name. Was responsible for that switch. This is called Negroponte switch, which is used to transmit data or signal, whatever, from a landline to a system which is wireless. So that kind of switch, that's called Negroponte switch. Then we got talking, and he says that book is all about how future would be IT, and this was 1995. You can imagine, okay. And then Bob looked at me. He says, "But Raj, since you are a biologist, let me also say it is not only being digital. You should write, or somebody should write, being vegetal." I was relatively, naturally, when you are relatively young, you don't, sometimes you undermine the import of somebody who is a very, elderly gentleman, possibly in his late 80s or something like that, but very alert kind of thing. And I realized that it is just, we are now beginning to see that digital revolution is behind us, which is currently happening in terms of, in terms of artificial intelligence and quantum computing and whatnot. But at the same time, a parallel revolution is happening in terms of being digital. So vegetal means in the sense of green technology. Green technology is green. We were talking yesterday, Manish and I wrote a small piece called Nature-Based Climate Solutions. So we are now not talking about technology solutions, but nature-based climate solutions. Solutions to our problems which can come from greening of earth and things like that. And I was recently also in a G20 kind of a meeting, which I was chairing, which was organized by Jindal Global University, role of universities in G20 nations. And one of the participants, who was, I think, Pro Vice Chancellor of University of Toronto, he said something fascinating. He says that our classrooms are full of youngsters who consider this as their existential mission to save planet Earth. Therefore, any kind of program or policy or educational instruction or educational skill and training is so important, because people are now saying that to save this planet Earth has become our existential question. Humans can only live on this planet Earth only if they take care of this, because we are now past everything. Now, climate change is also kind of a, often beaten horse. Therefore, the relevance of these courses, the broader relevance of this courses is human survival, the very human survival. That is the broader question. If humans have to survive on this planet, we have to do something. And if we do not convert this into our existential question, our existential issue, human existential issue, we will not succeed. That is the broad framework under which we operate, that we must consider it as part of our existential survival on this planet. So that is the broader question that we need to address at JSES, but generally speaking.
Thank you so much, all the professors and the Dean, for giving this insight to all the details regarding Jindal School of Environment and Sustainability, and in general, awakening towards environment awareness. We need to wake up to take this mission forward. With that, we are closer to closing time, and I take this opportunity to thank all of you, Professor ABHIROOP, Professor Manish, and Dean, Jindal School of Environment and Sustainability, Professor Pandit. for sparing your valuable time and giving this insight to all the students. Whosoever today they have heard, or for the times to come when they'll hear, they will be delighted to know all the details regarding this. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you
everyone.
so much. Thank you. All the best.